Yo guys, I hope you're doing really well. Just before we actually jump into this video, I just want to say thank you for 200 subscribers on the channel. It really does mean a lot. You know, it's good to see that me posting these videos, people are actually watching them and finding value within them, and they actually want to go ahead and subscribe and whatnot. So thank you so much for 200 subscribers. Now, obviously, as you can tell by the title of this video, I'm gonna go through on how to get paid. And I know you're probably thinking, what do you mean in terms of how to get paid? Well, at Bax Consulting, you know, my marketing agency, invoicing and kind of getting paid is just like an SOP of the business, like a standard operating procedure of the business. It's something that I've not really ever thought about in terms of other people wanting to know how to go about it and whatnot. But you know, I have got a lot of questions just recently asking about you know, how to actually go about invoicing your clients. You know, after you've gone through all of the hard work of outreaching to the potential client, to getting them to say yes to a meeting, you know, whether that be a sales call or whether it be, you know, face to face, whatever the case may be, you've gone through all of that hard work, and then it's like, what do you do from there? How do you get paid? How does your client pay you? And you know, essentially, how do you get paid that retainer that you guys agreed on? That's what I'm going to cover in this video. You know, how I personally do it at Bax Consulting and how I do it with, you know, not only my agency, you know, my online marketing agency, but also my coaching business as well. I'm just gonna go through it, and you know, the way that I go about it, it's very streamlined. You know, all you need to do is set it up once, and then every single month it automatically gets paid. You know, invoice automatically gets sent out to your client, and then that invoice automatically gets paid by your client straight into your account. You know, the client doesn't need to manually do it manually pay you every single month. You know, they do it the first time, and then essentially what happens, as you know, I'll go through in this video. With the software that I use, as you'll see, you know, once they pay the first time, their card automatically goes on file, and then it's just automatically on there. So every month on the date that you guys signed up, so for example, say it's the 19th, every month on the 19th, the invoice will get sent out, and then that invoice will automatically get paid. So it's a very streamlined process. And also, you know, your client doesn't have to think about paying you every single month, so you automatically get paid. And it's a very automated and streamlined process, and it works, you know, for both parties involved in terms of yourself and your client. You know, both of you guys win. So that's what I'm going to show you how to do in this video. Now, if you watched a previous video on my channel, I go through the best softwares to use for your agency. You know, I cover the exact softwares that I personally use for my agency. You would have seen I use Simple Invoices, and obviously, as the name suggests, it is an invoicing software. Simply the reason I use it is because it's the most just streamlined and just user-friendly software system I've personally found. And you know, as I said, I'll go into it in a minute. You'll see that in terms of getting their card on file and whatnot, it's just a very powerful software system. So I highly recommend that you use Simple Invoices. Even if you're using a different invoicing software at the moment, I really suggest that you switch to Simple Invoices. So that's the first thing. Is, as I said, I use Simple Invoices, and I actually couple that with Stripe. As you'll see, when you sign up to Simple Invoices, you've got like a few payment processors, and you know, you can do PayPal. I think there's a few others, and obviously also Stripe. Now, you need to use Stripe. Never ever use PayPal for your agency, simply because they are probably one of the worst payment processors. You know, they just hold money back from you for no reason. I've had it in the past. I've had a couple thousand held from me, and that was actually at the start of my agency. So, you know, at the time, a couple thousand was quite a lot to me, obviously when I was first starting out, but I learned my lesson. I never use PayPal anymore. I only use Simple Invoices that's coupled with Stripe. So make sure you get those two set up. Now, as you'll see within Simple Invoices, at the top right, it will literally say like new invoice. So you want to go into there, add in the client name, client email, and then if you want to get the client's address in terms of their business address, you can add that in, but that's optional. And then you just want to go into the next tab over, you'll see it when you sign up. Now, obviously in that section, you're just going to write the name of your service or whatever it may be. Maybe it's Facebook advertising or Google advertising, whatever the case may be. You just want to put that in there, and then over onto the right, you've just got the price. So you just want to put the price in, and then what you want to do from here. This is a really important part. So that's what you do initially. So when you sign up a new client, you want to get that invoice sent over to them as soon as possible. And then you, as I said, you want to put in their email, so then the invoice will get sent to their email, and you want to send that off, right? And then as soon as they pay that invoice, what you then want to go and do is go into subscriptions within Simple Invoices. You'll see on the left-hand side, there's like a column bit. It's got a few different headings and whatnot. You want to go into subscriptions, and then you want to set up a new subscription, and then you want to just choose from the existing clients. Obviously, say for example, your client is called Peter, right? So you put in the initial invoice you create, you put in Peter, and then Peter's email, so Peter at ecommercebusiness.com, whatever the case may be. And then once he pays that initial invoice, as I said, you then want to go into subscriptions and then go new subscription, and then you'll actually have a bit like to put in a new client, or there's either a new client, or you can go from existing. So you want to hit existing, and then obviously choose Peter, that's just paid the invoice. And then you want to go over and set up the schedule. So you want to do it as a monthly interval, and make sure you select it's a month later from that date, because if he pays on the 19th, for example, pays on the 19th, and then you set up a subscription and you don't change say if it's the 19th of November, if it's the 19th of November and he pays that subscription today, that initial invoice today, and then you go ahead and go and set up a new subscription, and you don't change the date to be the 19th of December, then what that will do is it will automatically charge him another retained, like another, say if you're doing 2,000, it's going to charge him 2,000 again on the 19th of November, even though it's already paid. So you need to make sure that you set it up as 19th of December is the first date, because he's already paid that initial invoice. I hope that makes sense. You'll see what I mean when you go into Simple Invoices and you go through it, but make sure you do that, otherwise it's going to get billed twice on one day, and obviously it's not a good look starting out. So you want to do that, and then from there what will happen is on the right hand side, you'll see two like little turn on buttons, and one will be like send invoice automatically, and then the next one is going to be like pay automatically, and you just want to make sure those two are checked. You've got your date right, so you make sure it's a month later from when you first sent the initial invoice, and then literally you want to just hit activate, and from there that's literally it. Every single month, for this example, every single month on the 19th of every month, you're going to get paid automatically. The invoice is going to get sent out automatically, and as I said, you're going to get paid automatically. So it's a very, very streamlined, very automated process. And yeah, it's what, as I said, it's what I use personally for my agency and also my coaching business. And it's just simply the best, invoicing process I've personally come across. I've used all the other softwares, the invoicing softwares and whatnot, and Simple Invoices is by far the best. And as I said, it's just something you don't need to think about. You don't need to ever manually send out another invoice to that client ever again. It's just set it up once, and then every month it just automatically comes in, pays you, sends out the invoice and pays you automatically every single month. So as I said, that's my process that I've set up for my agency and my coaching business in terms of invoicing. So I really hope that helps you guys out that were wondering how to invoice your clients and whatnot. As I said, that's exactly how I do it for my agency. So I hope that helps, and I will see you in the next video.